I'm Marika from My Creative Quilts and welcome to 2022. It dawned on me the other day that for the past few years, I've been making one major project a year along with all my other projects. And last year, for example, it was the Zoo family portrait, which turned out to be such an amazing quilt. It was much bigger than I thought it would be, but I think it's also the best I've ever done. I don't know if I can top that, but I can definitely try. The year before that, I made a half square triangle trip around the world quilt using Ricky Tims's hand-dyed fabrics, and that turned out just wonderful. It's a king-size quilt that's on my bed. I admire it every night when I go to bed, and I admire it again in the morning when I wake up. I just absolutely love that quilt. And I've made bigger quilts the previous years as well. So this year I thought I'm going to start a block of the month from the Quilt Show, and I thought I would document it. Every month I would do a little video on my process with the quilt, and we'll see how it progresses. And if any of you are also making that quilt, we can compare notes if you want. Now, you do have to be what they call a star member at the Quilt Show. I think it costs about $49, $50 US dollars. I'm not entirely sure, I don't remember. I am not affiliated with the Quilt Show. I'm not getting anything for telling you about it. I just wanted you to know, because if you are a star member, you do get some perks like these free block of the month quilts. You can watch many videos with Alex Anderson and Ricky Tims, and there's a lot of things that go along with being a member. So it might be something you want to consider. So the pattern we're making this year, the block of the month, is called The Garden Party Down Under, and it's designed by Australian quilt maker Irene Blank. She did the block of the month last year as well, the Color My World, which I started, haven't finished yet. I will at some point. I kind of lost interest in it because I started working on the Zoo family portrait, and I'll get back to it. I do that. Sometimes I get really involved in a project and then I decide to put it away for a while. It doesn't mean it won't be finished. It just means it's not finished now. So anyway, this Garden Party quilt is applique, unlike the one I did last year. And I think I'm going to machine applique it. I haven't decided 100% yet. My last applique quilt, I machine appliqued. The one before that I did by hand. I'm not really sure. I'm going to think about that before I start completely. So for this particular quilt, I did something I don't usually do. I bought the kit that goes along with it. I have to admit, I was underwhelmed by some of the fabrics. Some of it's quite nice. Some of it was, I don't think I would have chosen that. And one of the things is I didn't care for the backing fabric. So, not the backing, but like the background. So I have this really nice kind of grungy off-white fabric. So that's what I'm going to use for my background fabric. And that's okay. The thing is, when you're doing something like a block of the month, or you're doing a pattern, a kit, or anything like that, this is your quilt. If there's something about the pattern or the kit that you don't like, switch it out. There's nothing that says you can't do that. This is your quilt. It has to be what you want to do, and you have to like it at the end, or your recipient has to like it at the end. So there's no musts with these things. You do things for you. So for example, this pattern, Irene designed it with 1/8 of an inch stems in some places. I'm not going to do 1/8 of an inch. I'm going to do it 1/4 of an inch. And Barbara Black, who is with the Quilt Show, she has a monthly video and blog post, and she answers questions about this because she's already made it, and she has found some tips and techniques to make it easier and faster. For example, Irene designed the borders to be appliqued, and Barbara Black has designed it so that you can actually paper piece them instead of appliquing, if you're kind of fed up with appliquing and you just want to go faster. So, you mix and you match and you take what you like. So another thing I wasn't overly fond of was, in this pattern you have 5 vases. And the fabrics they gave me for the vases, a couple of them I kind of like, some of them I don't. And then I decided, it's a very, very scrappy quilt. I want something that you can kind of rest your eyes on. So I've decided I'm going to make, I probably will, not written in stone, I'm going to make the vases all the same fabric. So it just kind of ties everything together. I'm thinking of using this kind of crackly type fabric and this color. I'm not 100% sure. At one point I had this white and blue fabric that reminds me of the Delft de Blauw, the blue Delft. And I have a beautiful Delft quilt that I made, but that it didn't really match it. But this one seems to match it, so I think I'm going to go with this. The other fabrics that we got, and there are a lot are all, you know, there's pinks and oranges and greens and blues, just a lot of fabrics. It's actually quite heavy. So, you know, I'll use the ones that I like. And then if there's ones that I really would rather not use, I'll put that aside and pull something out of my stash to replace it. Because it's a scrappy quilt, it can be whatever you want to use it. At one point, I thought I might do it in batiks. If I really like the quilt, if it goes together like I think I might do a second one, but with batiks instead of these types of fabrics. So it's really up to you. It's what you want to do, how you want to do it. So I've prepared the first block. I've printed out the pattern, I've taped it all together, and now I have to transfer it to my heat and bond so I can put it onto the fabric and get going. So we'll see how it works. I think it'll be a really nice quilt. I hope it'll be a really nice quilt, and I'm looking forward to the challenge. And hopefully I will remember to make a video at the beginning of February and show you about how block 1 turned out and tell you about block 2. So until then, see you later. Bye.